I think that there is a problem in the art industry with gender inequality and gender-based violence. I think that still the positions that are higher, the positions in power, directors and teachers are still mostly men. I'm glad that this is changing, but I still see that they are mostly men, and often men with certain personalities. Not always, of course, but often these men have been idealized by women, and women have been coming to those men for help and for feedback. And yeah, I can imagine that if you get a lot of attention like that maybe at a certain point you see yourself like you are above other people, and this should change. Especially women have to change the need to go to a man for help. And I'm also telling this myself, because we can help ourselves. And women can also help women. And I think that this could be so helpful for change when we start to not just go to these men who are already big. Because there are so many beautiful and inspiring people that are just as talented or even more talented that don't get that kind of attention. So I think that can actually help change those dynamics a little bit. Put some more attention to the people that aren't in this light yet. And take some attention away from the people that already have plenty. Especially when they have been abusing these powers. Personally, my experience has been in the circus industry. When I started circus, I was 6 and I was in a youth circus, and this is such a warm and safe environment. There is really... I don't think that there is any gender equality in the youth circus, at least not where I was. And I think that made me a little bit blind for what came after my youth circus, because I believed that circus was this warm and safe place, and because I felt safe, there were things that I didn't see when I got older. Because when you think that you're safe, you don't see red flags. You're not paying attention, and I wish that maybe I would have been made aware that there is also this kind of problem in the world anyway. I think that we need to talk more about power dynamics and the power dynamics between different genders. Yeah. So yeah, as soon as I had my own bad experience with gender-based violence, I didn't even realize it for a long time that this was happening. But when I did, and when I talked with people, more people, like so many people, have been in this situation and have just been silent about it. Like no one really speaks, and when people speak, we're speaking to the people who have been through it, and we're not talking to the people who haven't yet been through it, which is not helping. Like we have to talk with people who haven't been through it so that we protect those people from maybe going through it, you know, because when you have been going through it, it wakes you up. It, of course, doesn't mean that you will not ever get in this situation again, because that's just not how it works. But at least when you are aware, you are aware. And I think that we should bring this to become visible and talked about and not being accepted anymore. Because I see so many men in positions of power that are like teachers or directors, that are aware of how women or anyone, how they're idealized, and they don't mind abusing that. If they are aware or not, it's not an excuse. Like being abusive is not being, like there's no excuse. When you're abusive, you're traumatizing people, you're hurting people. Even if you're not aware of it, you need to face consequences. And that has to like start happening, because it's not happening enough that people are actually facing consequences. There are so many consequences for victims. But the abuser, where is the consequences for the abuser, you know? Like we have to create those fucking consequences for them, because they will not just have to deal with it the way victims have to deal with it. Yeah. Yeah. I wish that it wasn't necessary, but I think that we need rules, like rules of behavior. Just basically don't abuse anyone inside certain spaces. Like just put that rule. Don't cross boundaries. Anyway, this is not a right, like the rest was going great, but this is not, like I'm losing my text here. Yeah. But all in all, like I've been very like proud, maybe. It kind of gave me back some strength that I actually spoke up. Like I know that there are people that think that I'm hiding, but I'm just protecting myself. Like yeah, I don't see it like I'm hiding. I'm actually speaking up. I'm just not gonna talk with someone that I don't feel safe to be around. So I do talk with people that should know, so that it doesn't happen to them. Also, just because I want this silence to be broken. Yeah. Okay. Guess that is enough. Damn it, emotions.